Hey guys, this is a video on planks, and a plank is a really useful exercise for starting to learn to develop tension through the abdomen, and that's a skill that a lot of people lose after injuring themselves. Now that could be an injury anywhere in the body. It's probably more common with something more local like a back, a hip, or maybe a shoulder injury, but it also has its uses in neck injuries as well, and potentially even ankle injuries too, depending on what your deficits are. So if you've had any of those things, watch this video, give these plank versions a go, and see if they help you out. Okay, so to begin with, it's nice to have some props. You don't need a yoga block necessarily. It could be a shoebox, it could be a sports ball like a football, a soccer ball, a rugby ball. You could even have a shoe. The point is you've just got something that you can manipulate in your environment, and that's going to ask you to move around a little bit differently or to challenge your control of those movements. There's a lot of stuff around perfect technique in these things, and it's not so much about technique as it is about can we go after the directions and the positions that are challenging for you. And so we'll show you a couple different versions. Some of these versions might be aggravating for you, and so if they are, you can stop and try a different version. If you find all of them too easy, then we can add some complexity to them as well. So a nice place to start is a knee plank. And with a knee plank, you're basically going to go on your knees and your elbows. And to start with, I'm just trying to have my pockets at the same height as my shoulders. I could have them lower down here, and that's fine, but it just requires more effort and there's more tension. If I come up here, it's a little less effort. So while I'm here, I'm just going to hang out, and if you feel like you're shaking already, then this might be a good starting place for you. If you feel like this is too easy, then instead of lengthening down here or going into a more traditional plank, add some movement. So with my block, if I put this on my back and come down, now I've created a movement and I had to stabilize against that. I had to challenge my ability to control my own body as I moved around. Now if I reach back with the other hand and bring it down, I've done the same thing. So you could just put a shoe on your back and you could alternate and set a timer and go back and forth. If you find that that's a bit too easy, you can challenge the stability in other parts of your body. So I could lift a leg up and alternate between those. If I find that's a bit too easy, then I can do arm and leg together. I like to use the talk test as well. A talk test is a way of basically reminding your body that you need to breathe when you do this. Instead of focusing on breathing, talking is a bit more of like a subconscious activity, and we're trying to reduce the amount that you have to cognitively attend and think about. So something like this, instead of me saying to you, I want you to get your back in a particular position and then put this in a certain place on your back, okay, and then, okay, you gotta hold your hip here. Instead, you just put this on your back, take it off, put it down, pick it up. Different ways, different versions, and then eventually you'll adapt to that environment and it'll just become easier for you because you'll learn as long as it's not aggravating. So if that's aggravating, then other versions which you might think about doing are a side plank, and we've got some other videos on that, so do give them a look. Just look at side plank. If it's too easy for you, then you might transition into a full plank. And with a full plank, you don't necessarily need to go for a long time. If you look at someone like Pavel Tatsulin's work from Strong First, he's kind of the father of kettlebells within America, then you'll find that it's more for him about creating tension throughout the whole system except your neck or your face. You keep those relaxed, and what I'm actually doing is I'm tensing every muscle in my body. But I can still move my head around, and I can still talk. And you're trying to hold that for maybe 15 to 20 seconds, and you do a few sets of that. These are more exercises about learning to build tension. Endurance exercises we can leave for some other movements. But as soon as you feel like it's somewhat easy, move on to the next progression. You don't have to always stick something out until it's like utterly perfect, because we want to put you in an environment that's challenging. If this was too hard for you though, you might go back to the dead bug exercise and work through that first and then progress into this. Not to say that one is a step up from the other, they just challenge the body a bit differently, but somewhat similar as well. So give these a go. They're a nice exercise to just start learning to build this tension, and you should feel like eventually you can be quite conversational when you do it. If you like this video, then please hit like below. Otherwise, to check out more of our content in the future, you can subscribe to our channel by clicking our logo over here. And to check out our latest video, click up here.